going on, everyone? It is your girl Ja, and we are here for Ja's Jot Down with a very special guest. Today we have Mr. Carmichael Stokey Cannady here on it.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling great.
Well, we are very excited, and it's such a pleasure and humbling to have you on here because you've done so much for the Baltimore community. You've done so much for talent in the community and for the youth. So we're going to delve into a lot of things that you got going on. So to get started, I know a lot of people already know about you and know that you're from here. But to the people who don't, can you just go into where you're from and what neighborhood in Baltimore you're from?
I'm born and raised in Baltimore from the west side, from White
Lock
Lock neighborhood, White Lock, better known as Reservoir Hill. Been there my entire life. Grew up in White Lock. My mom, my grandparents, sister, brothers, the regular inner city urban life. Nothing different. Played sports. Loved going to school when I went. But for the most part, just had an average childhood.
Okay. So when you say average childhood, what do you mean?
Growing up in the 70s, most people who didn't have two-parent households, you pretty much would grow up community fashion, with uncles, aunts, or, different relatives. I can recall, when other people would raise your children without having permission, everybody showed love, and it was kind of, you could get spanked by your neighbor.
Because it took a village.
Right. So, when I mean average is that everybody got along, everybody uplift each other. It was just wholesome type of atmosphere. So to a point where everybody knew each other, it wasn't foreign to see someone with, it wasn't foreign to see someone without, because we always found a way to try to kind of collaborate in our neighborhood, give everybody the opportunity to show love wherever it's needed. So meaning that if you needed bread, you can knock on somebody's door and ask for bread, and it wouldn't be like, oh, that's going to be on social network the next day.
Okay, that's a beautiful thing. Now, I saw in your history that you went to Ashworth College for psychology, and that kind of is very interesting to me because you kind of went into the entertainment field as well as the activism. So how did you go from psychology to what you're doing now?
I always wanted to study human behavior. I was curious as a kid. I remember about 9 years old, I had a stuffed doll at an amusement park, and I took it home and I cut it open looking for bones. I was like, how does this stay together? Because I didn't understand that cotton was installed and it filled the entire form of the doll. So when I realized that all the cotton was out and wasn't no bones, I realized I just was curious about biology and things like that. So as I got older, I was a little more curious about astrology and astronomy, and so things just started going in different directions. So I wanted to study human behavior and cultural behavior, which is sociology, but then psychology is to study human behavior, and it was very interesting to me. And so I applied to Ashworth University while I was incarcerated, and when I came home, things just got so fast that I didn't really get a chance to go back and complete my degree. But it's always been a passion for me to study psychology because it equips me and informs me on why we do what we do, why we think the way we think, culture, nature versus, nurture and things like that. So it gave me an opportunity to learn more about myself, why I think the way I think, if I had a twin brother and we was in the same house, why I might do something different, why he might do something, why we might do different things and we got the same, we're in the same atmosphere, the same environment. So it taught me a lot, especially nowadays when I look at the trauma and how so many people are desensitized and hopeless. And then from a psychology standpoint, I try to tap into why they think the way they think. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to do it. And then when I came home, things just changed. I had to find a way to survive and make a living, and I knew at that time, going back to school, taking care of my kids, it didn't mesh. So I said, well, maybe I'll find a job, something I love to do, empower myself, or incorporate some finances to the point where I can then when they go back to school and not be like a hardship.
Okay, wow, that's very interesting. And you speak on your incarceration, which was that happened back in '98, and it was from a 21 federal indictment count that you were leader of a drug organization, but we have now since passed that. And I find it very interesting that when you were serving your time, you were writing a lot. You wrote a lot novels as well as going to college. So, can you just elaborate on how you started writing while you were?
Well, I got tired of hearing about the fabricated lifestyle of guys that was on the street. And in order for someone to fix something, they got to know how it works. And when I was reading, you know, documentations and hearing war stories about what the street life was like, I just disagreed with it. So I said one of the things I can do is kind of fabricate some stories, but entail some reality to a point where somebody can get the original plot, right? And I just used my imagination, to free myself. And there's a lot of stresses in prison. You can't really cry as a man because if you cry, it's a sign of weakness. So I would go right when I had problems that was going on with my kids or in my relationships. I would go right to escape prison. That was my escape. And one book turned into two books, and I said, well, you know what? I'm gonna write a book for each one of my children, not necessarily after them or biography or autobiography, just in terms of numbers. And at that time, I had 6 kids, so I said I'm gonna write 6 books, and I did that. And no, it was fun because I wanted to see it come to fruition, And I also knew that if I used my imagination to tell some of the stories that I actually experienced, then it would be relatable, and hopefully, it would give people an opportunity to see the real truth instead of things that can't happen. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't about money for me at that point. It was just more about trying to tell truth through my eyesight, through my eyes, and my version of what I experienced in the game.
Okay, wow. So I do see that you have a whole bunch. My God and My Word, Worthless, A Penny with a Hole in It. That's just a few of the books that you've written. Is there a way that fans and people can still access those writings?
Yeah, they on Amazon.
Okay.
I thought about releasing the books again, or write a few more when I get time. But they are available on Amazon.com. White Lock City Part 1, Part 2, My God, My Word, which is my favorite book.
Okay.
And then A Penny with a Hole in It, Worthless, And I got Gutter Juices.
Good, I say.
Yeah, so they can find them on Amazon.com.
Okay, cool. Now, those experience of you of writing, has that translated into your current activism and the entertainment? As far as using your imagination or your own personal experiences and.
Well, I always tell people that your experience speaks people's opinion. So activism, I never considered activism. I honestly didn't. I always considered like seeking atonement. You go in life, you do things, and you correct your mistakes. I mean, people always say, well, if you would have done it, someone else would have done it. Right? Well, I feel like if I wouldn't have sold drugs and I went to Harvard or Yale or Stanford, more kids would have went, right? But I didn't. So I perpetuated a negative narrative in my community to not only allow other people to do what I was doing, but it caused, a lot of disturbance, and disruption in people's livelihood. So that way heavy on my heart. So when I was incarcerated, I said one of the things I can do when I come home is give back. And I always gave back, but in a way where as though it could be, I don't need it to be reciprocated. I need it to serve my purpose and hopefully, or my passion, and hopefully my purpose will align itself with that. And giving back makes me happy. So when people say activism, I know there's a title in the description they give us because of the things we do, but I do it because I love it. I love my city. I love people. I love helping people. And there's a lot of things people don't know, and it kind of disturbed me when I hear people say, "Well, he can't do this, he can't do that," And I would say, "Why not?" Like the other day, somebody said, "Well, they won't let him become this, or they won't." And I'm like, "Well, last time I checked, I did a consensus. Baltimore is 70% black, right? So when they saying they, who they talking about? They say we not gonna let me do this because we the ones who have the majority say so in the city. And as far as activism, again, I just think that it's necessary for anybody who can to give back. I think we all should serve, whether it be a higher power or someone we believe in other than ourselves, to really guide our steps. And for me, I don't sleep good at night knowing that there's someone in my city that's suffering or living a just uncomfortable life due to something that I may have done in the past. I perpetuated a negative behavior that has now been accepted and normalized, and I got a problem with it. So I want to do my best in my individual official capacity to fix it. So I don't call it activism. I call it seeking atonement, trying to find ways to give back and do things or fix things that I broke.
That's beautiful. Wow. So, in your journey of seeking atonement, you've received many awards and accolades for doing what you do in the community. Excuse me. So, your initiatives that you have now, Never Give Up Incorporated and Real Brothers, are those still going on now?
Well, Never Give Up. It was the name of my publishing company, and Real Brothers was a company me and my brother Emory Jones started a while ago, and we'll revisit that when we do collaborations together in the near future. But Never Give Up has always been the publishing company and my community initiative platform. But I'm just the owner and CEO of the Stokey Project, marketing, management, consulting.
Okay.
And that's what I use every single day to take care of my family.
Okay, we're gonna get to that in a minute. But for those two, I saw that your quote, "Where I'm from, giving up is not an option." Now, this quote is also written on the walls of the Renaissance Academy.
Right.
That I saw that you made right. So that you made that post. Where did that come from? I saw that you said that your mom told you that.
Well, when I was incarcerated, I got a call to come to the front office. Well, my mom, she died.
I'm sorry.
Of AIDS, and our last phone call was her telling me never to give up. And that's the last thing she said. So I told myself, no matter what I start, I'll do my best to finish. And I'll find a way to make her mantra live beyond her absence, you know what I'm saying, or her demise. So every time I think about hardship or things that's problematic, I always say, never give up. So where I'm from, never give up is not an option. And I hope that everybody that's from White Lock or that been where I've been realizing that we can't give up. I mean, because if we give up, then nothing is possible. And after watching her die, from a terrible disease, I realized my purpose in life has to be more than just an excuse. And finding ways to take shortcuts and making excuses about why I didn't complete certain tasks that I knew I was capable of completing. So I do my best to always think forward, and if I think I can do something, I 9 out of 10 times I do it.
That's good. That's good. So now to pick up off that, you said you and Emory Jones. I do see that you guys also had a bet on yourself.
No, that's his. That's
okay.
Emory is one of the smartest, humble, loving persons I've ever met in my life. We met in the belly of the beast. We met in prison. And one thing about Emory is that I'm older than him, but he's really the big brother because he checks me and makes sure that I align myself with character. Like, he doesn't really care about money, fame, or lights. He's always been someone I can turn to whenever there is a doubt or a question of what I should do. Matter of fact, he's probably one of the few people I call first. He's one of the few people I ask about a lot of business endeavors and social issues I face every day. I call him and ask him what he think. And he always give me the hard advice. Sometimes people give you the best advice, and I can explain to you what I think is the difference between the hard advice and the best advice. Because when you give somebody the hard advice, you give them the love, the care, and concern that you think they need to hear, even if it's not what's best at that time. So, meaning that he might say, well, the city, you need to get out the city. Because right now, the city is not loving you, right? In the scenario. But that's coming from his heart. But the best thing may be fight and make it make sense or make it work, right? So I try to look at the difference and compare, what's best for me and what's good for me, and people always say sometimes what's good to you is not good for you, and he helped me align myself, with keeping my character in place and doing the right things. Because I always say if you do it right, you got to do it twice, and he has been someone who has supported me in every walk of life, whether it be Never Give Up Summer Festivals, Stokey Project, helped me with Shoe City. He helped me with everything. Like that's my brother. He gave me his mom. We share the same mother now.
Oh wow.
Don't too many people do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's a very selfless individual. So, I mean, big ups to him for always being in my life and supporting me at every turn.
Nice. So you pretty much have made a name for yourself here, and you have a lot of folks who look up to you. Now, although you said Emory is someone that you look up to, is there anyone else that you kind of take mentorship from?
I have a best friend You know, his name, they call him, I look up to him quietly. Don't tell him this, but
Okay.
because he had said something a long time ago, and I hold myself responsible for whatever I do because I know he might be watching. He said that whenever he make a tough decision in life, he always think about what I would do, and then he make that decision and live with the results. And to me, that take a lot of men to say that because a lot of men don't like following other people's advice if it's not what's best for them at that moment. And he said no matter what the decision is, he think about what I would do. And I have a new mentor, Jay Brown. He's the co-founder of Roc Nation. I mean, this guy is God sent. Like he's one of the few people who I tell people all the time, he do it and he don't have to do it. That's what makes me love him the most. I mean, he had people like Rihanna under his his mentorship. Other people that he worked with every single day. Jay-Z to the left. He might have somebody to the right, but he find time to always answer my emails, my calls, and give me the best advice possible. I was very discouraged about running for mayor of Baltimore, and after Nipsey Hussle died, I was like, wow, like everybody compared some of the things I do in Baltimore to what Nipsey was doing. In Crenshaw, and I was like, well, you know, I asked him what he think I should do. He said, man, just keep doing the work for the people, and always be honest. You know what I'm saying? And if you do that, you should win. I mean, because they need somebody who will don't worry about the past. Just worry about the future and the present, and continue to do the work for the people and put the people first. And that has always been something that I do my best to do every single day. But it's people like him, I mean, who I think came out of nowhere because he don't have to do it. And there's people who I struggle with and I help and I've done so much for, and I don't even smoke, but they wouldn't give me a loose Newport, and that's life. I never did anything hoping someone would do the same thing, but sometimes the reality set in that y'all different. God make everybody different, and you have to accept that and move on.
Yeah, and that kind of plays into your point of the whole they or we are not allowing ourselves to to excel in what we are sent here to basically do. So, do you think that you do experience a lot of crab in a barrel mentality while you're trying to lift up the community?
I mean, all the time. I mean, and unfortunately, like people have come accustomed to not having faith and hope because people have let them down so many times before that it becomes a trust issue. And I always tell politicians or elected officials that if someone trusts you, respects you, and can relate to you, they probably would eat out your hand because that's not the norm. And as I said earlier, like a lot of people have normalized crisis to a point where as though we don't trust people. And I see why. There's corruption over here, there's lies over there. And that's been what we have, grown to believe in. And when I look at myself, I'm from a different pedigree. Like, the people that have raised me know the difference between a male and a man, because God make you a male, you gotta make yourself a man. And I don't never want to do myself or my family or anybody disservice intentionally, not necessarily for financial gain. I've done that before and I know that it not only affected my life, but it affected people that I love. My kids have to wait 12 years to spend more than 4 hours with me, And as I always tell people, it's 1,440 minutes in a day, You can't get those minutes back when they're gone. You might get money back, but those time, it's time that you can never get back. So the crab in the bucket mentality comes from people not having hope and faith in something that they think can come to fruition. And I was one of those people who was, thoughtless. I thought, well, there are people who I can't trust who have continuously lied and disrupted the flow of life as I saw it to be. And I mean, right now, I don't think a politician can fix Baltimore, so I don't put that much, investing in that. I think we need a leader. It's a difference. And I'll go into that later too. But the crab in the bucket mentality to me has come from people who have done things that they shouldn't have done and allow people to think the way they think. It's not just they just thought about it was or they found something on the ground and they made it up.
Yeah.
That come from the experience of people in Baltimore that we trusted over the years who have let us down. Now everybody felt like, okay, I got to pull him down, so I can get up, and that's not how I was raised.
Wow. Yeah, I can definitely vouch for that. Now, has Baltimore been the only place that you've been, like as far as doing your work, your activism and?
I mean, if again when Flint Michigan had the water crisis. We raised water from Baltimore and took to Flint. When they had the hurricane in Houston, I went there. There's been plenty of places that I have been to serve people. I don't keep score. I just know that whenever there's a need, if myself or anybody that I work alongside with can contribute to help people, I'm there. I mean, so it doesn't really matter. Our kid who was down with brain cancer from Charlotte, he wanted to meet Stephen Curry, and I had relationships, and I made it happen before he passed away. So, it's plenty of things I can say I've done, but it's always been something that probably was least expected because it's not like the norm. Like a national disaster is not the norm. So you gotta find ways to help people out.
Okay. Well, that kind of leads me into your Stokey Project because you are helping the talent in the community. So, can you just elaborate on what the Stokey Project is and how it got started?
Well, a few years ago, my friend Raoul Smith, rest his soul, he passed away. I was interested in doing another documentary on my life, and at the time, we were working on Henry Jones' story. And I realized there's a lot of untapped talent in Baltimore that didn't have a platform. And I felt that if we gave them a platform, that we could help them grow and receive national attention. So I said, if I do one project that's singular, I don't want that to be a Stokey Project and then it's done. So I said, well, if we name it the Stokey Project and we get behind it, someone will understand what the brand really, we started to like doing other projects, doing documentaries, music videos, and things like that, interviewing artists. And then my son, he came around and started doing music. And at the time, I really wasn't into music because I felt like, it was nothing that I thought would make me rich or wealthy. So, and I just didn't understand the dynamics of it at that time. I mean, from a business perspective, because I think now that I know music is 85% business, and 15% just music. I didn't think I had the time to learn it, But when my son got involved, I had to. So, I mean, the Stokey Project has done mentorships. We manage artists. I consult with companies, to help bring about better decisions, with their brand. So it's very, very. I mean, it's broad in terms of the scope of where we can go and what we have done.
Yeah, I saw that you have a variety of talent. You have a comedian, an actor. You have a DJ who's a female. You have some rappers on there.
Right. Yeah, I technically legally manage those guys. A producer by the name of Mano from Chicago. He's one of the dopest producers out. Miss K and Lord Nana, they local young talent females who I can't wait to introduce to the world. Silk is the comedian guy who people think is my father. It's not my father. And it's funny because he's been funny his whole life. I just wanted to really share the platform with him to help him broaden his scope, And once he did that, he started getting more engagement than me.
Oh.
And I mean, he has movies in the works. He got more plays coming, But right now, I had to put that to the back and focus on the immediate need, which is helping the city, And I think it's more important for me to work instead of laugh, and play around, with him, and I can be doing other things with my time. But he definitely got some things we're working on, short films and projects. I can't wait until they are released. But we busy. We have a lot of new talent that I'm working with.
Okay.
And some big, wonderful ideas that's coming on the turnpike. I'm in the process of, hopefully having my own label, my own imprint within the next couple of weeks. I'm excited about that.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to partnering with Roc Nation to get on that. So a lot of things in the works. I'm hopeful. I'm blessed. At the end of the day, my business endeavors speak for themselves, but from a political perspective, I understand I can't do both. So I'm solidifying a very talented, strong, trustworthy team of people that can take my brand into the future without me being engaged on a day-to-day basis, and hopefully the best to come.
Nice. So we, as a lot of us know, and just like as you explained, you have worked with a lot of heavy hitters in the industry, like Jay and Roc Nation. Has there been any kind of experience that you learned the most from, or advice that someone on that team or has shared with you that you take with you? in your work?
Honestly, just be me. You know, there's metaphors and parables that I recall reading about. It said, if you find something you love to do, that you'll never work a day in your life. You know, and I always tell people now I'm learning how to separate my passion from my purpose. And Jay is one of the smartest people I ever met. You know, I remember wanting to force myself to work with him because I wanted to be a part of what he had going on, that paradigm. And then I realized that God didn't want it to be that way, you know. And then it happened organically, you know. And that's why I laugh at people when they talk about business and my business endeavors, you know. And, you know, Jay is a very successful businessman. You know, he just wouldn't partner or put his brand with someone because he liked him. I mean, he got the whole New York if he wanted to do that, right? You know, and you know more about New York than I do. But, I mean, I felt blessed to be one of his partners in terms of management. And also just the trust that he embodied, you know, and help me understand how to do business the right way. You know, so I learned a lot from him. I still do. You know, that's, you know, I try to have that blueprint and try to internalize as much information as I can so I can perpetuate the same positivity that he embodied, you know, and hopefully it will translate the same results as he had in New York I can do in Baltimore. But more importantly, you know, not try to be another J, be the first Stokey, but do it in a way where I use some of the information to be successful.
Right. Which I think you're not very far from at all.
Baltimore tough. Baltimore tough, and again, I understand why, but I think we can change that narrative. I think what we have now is a whole city full of talented individuals. Everybody, you know, who I know should be able to get their own platform. With now it's easy with social network, but get the attention they deserve because everybody not going to be the same. You know,
yeah.
Everybody has their own God-gifted talent. You know, we just got to find a way to bring it out. And unfortunately, Baltimore hasn't been a city that has been known for that. And I want to do my best in my individual or official capacity to give us a platform where we can be known for that and hopefully, you know, take their career to another level, whether it be a dancer, a piano player, you know, or even an athlete. But I just feel like we got so much talent in Baltimore. And through my travels, we only known for 5 things, you know. Heron, Violence, The Wire, you know, The Ravens, and now The Uprising, you know. And I also want to add a 6th that's talent. You know, we got a lot of talent people. We got the Drew Hills from Baltimore. You know, we have a lot of people that came from Baltimore. We got Mello, we got San Cassell, we got, I mean, you know, Cyrus Jones. We got a lot of different people from Baltimore, the Will Bartons of the world. And I don't think we get enough credit. Tank is a champion. Cheetos, like these young guys are really giving Baltimore a good look. And I think there's so many other people that are known for doing some of the same things, but don't have the same platform.
So that's what you want to work on, just giving them the platform to express their talents.
I mean, and to help, you know, where it's needed, you know, giving them the ingredients to be successful. Because, I mean, everybody else do it. Miami do it, Atlanta, New York, LA. Baltimore don't do it, and I don't know why, but it's about to change.
Yeah, I think, like in past interviews, I think a lot of folks agree with that whole, it's a self-hate that's kind of going on with like a crab in a barrel mentality where they don't want to see the next get success.
I think that generation died.
You think so?
I think that generation died.
Okay.
It died because what happened was the hate was perpetuated because of lack of opportunity and resources. So now when you see more resources, we see a guy like Chino. One day he in Mondama, next day he's standing next to Jay-Z. That's hope. You see a guy like Chino on Pennsylvania Avenue in the boxing ring. Next thing you know, you see him stand next to, you know, the best pound boxer in the world. You know what I'm saying? Mayweather. So it can change because once you got hope and aspiration, you know, a lot of things change. And we didn't have hope because we didn't see success. We saw it, but it was marginalized, you know. And now the application to me has come by way of, you know, who has the blueprint. You know, everybody has because everybody has different talents. So now we just need a platform to show what we can do and believe in each other. Like we have so many rap artists, you know, and man, I was laughing last night. I had made a suggestion that after I did some numbers, I said, well, in 2015 to 2018, we lost 1,525 people to homicides, to murder. And 87.4% of those people that got murdered had some type of music in their bio on Instagram or their obituary. But there's no real big music platforms for them to go to as a form of art. Not a curriculum in school, but a form of art to go to And someone challenged me on that. And then last night we seen something that the man said they go up in studios and recreations. And I'm like, oh, it don't matter who get the idea, because I'm for the people. You know what I'm saying? Just give it to the people. But I've been said that, and I'm like, now we stand for that, because I know that they just want an opportunity to compete and succeed. And if you get them that, Baltimore has always had the type of DNA, and that I can't compare to no one else, that always makes a way out of no way. You know what I mean? We had that type of attitude and disposition to a point where, as though you give us an opportunity, then we're going to make the best out of it. I just feel like if we get a chance to get on with music, sports, entertainment, whatever it may be, we're going to make the best out of it.
Giving up is not an option.
Not on my watch.
No, I know that's right. All right, so with the Stokey Project, and you said that you have some new talent that's going to come. Is there any like events that you're going to be working on in the community?
Honestly, it's not far-fetched, but I've been in talk and conversation trying to have the first big music festival in Baltimore, like Made in America did in Philly and Rolling Loud do. I want to have something, I don't know the name of it yet, it might be Made in Baltimore, whereas though we have a 3-day major weekend where all the artists from here and all around the world can come here and partake in our culture, you know what I'm saying, and that'd bring our music platform, to another level. That's one of the things I'm working on, and just keep doing a lot of inner city activations for artists, in our community stores like Shoe City, getting people a platform to rap and changing the narrative from negativity to positivity, letting them vent and hopefully keep them out of harm's way. So anything that I can, I will do. But most of all, the most important thing I'm working on is trying to bring the first major big festival, almost like the AFRAM was, but it's going to be pertaining just to music. And again, giving these people a major platform to show their talent.
Okay, and you said that you still work with Shoe City. So what's that like? What's that process?
That's home. I love the company. I love the owner. I love everybody I work with. I'm the marketing manager. I've been there for like 5 years.
Oh, okay.
They have given me every ammunition, every opportunity I can to give back to not only my community. We partners in everything I do. I do it with Shoe City, or I probably won't do it because they have the same care, concern, and love for the community as I do. So we do our best to always give back, not only in education, not only in entertainment, but recreation as well. It's a family-owned business, been around for 70 years, you know what I'm saying? And that speaks value to what they stand for, I don't know any other company that's been around that long,
Yeah.
But
and that's so loved by their home, you know.
Shoe City different. They have a different DNA as well. It's not just business. The owner has, a heart that bleeds love, care, and concern, and that's why, I do my best to always find a way to uplift the community by way of getting involved and getting engaged and having Shoe City attached to it, because they really do care. It's not like, it's just about selling shoes and clothes with them. The owner could care less about that. It is business at the end of the day, but more importantly, he like to help people.
Okay, that's beautiful. That is beautiful, because you don't hear about a lot of major businesses still really caring about the community aside from what the money they can make from them. So that's dope. That's nice. Now, with all of your history as a positive influence in the media and in the community, we've seen you on multiple platforms like CNN speaking about the Freddie Gray riots. We've seen you do countless homeless drives and basketball tournaments and rallies for the youth. And now you want to delve into politics as running for the mayor of Baltimore. So where did that come from? What gave you that zest to serve and search for self-atonement and,
Honestly, it's not really about politics for me. I look at it as being a leader. I know that a lot of people don't know all my business endeavors and know how I have partnered with companies such as New Balance, the billionaire owned that, the Roc Nation, billionaire owned that.
You've done a lot.
It doesn't really come as a difficult thought process. To me, it's making the sacrifice of giving up what I know I have to give up to work for Baltimore because I love working for myself. But after a while, if you know better, you do better. And to see 1,700 and some people murdered, over the last 4 years and 9 months, it takes a lot out of you. So one day I was coming from court with a friend, and I stopped to see my son, and he was on timeout at school, and I had already made the decision to move to LA to work alongside the Roc Nation of the world, was make things closer. My guy Skies had lived out there, and I'm gonna be close to him. And then, God has a way of sending you signs. Allah, he's the best of planners. He has a way to say, not right now or not at all. And when I went to go see my son in school, I told my son if he keep misbehaving, he can't go to LA with me. And he asked me, why am I going to LA? And I said, Baltimore just different. I need to change, and scenery. He like, wow, you don't like Baltimore? And he's 6 years old.
Mm.
And I said, I like it. It just ain't the same. He said, why? Because of the murders. And he's 6. Like, we don't talk about violence. We talk about Tom Brady, Stephen Curry, LeBron James. Honestly, he's very intelligent. We use technology to, incorporate a different skill set, but it's not like we sit around and talk about violence and negativity. So when he said that, I didn't want to lie to him because that was the truth. Mm-hmm. But then it was selfish of me to move and leave my family. So as I left him, I started crying like, damn, I failed my son at 6 years old already because I couldn't protect him from the truth of where we live. And although he doesn't really see it, but he's probably suffering from a form of PTSD, not even knowing it unconditionally, right? So, I went home. I called my sister crying. She thought something happened. I told her to pack up. We getting out of here. Wherever y'all want to move, let's get out of here. And I went home and I was laying down, like, YouTube sent me this message, about you the one. And when it said you the one, it have a lot of motivational speakers that was attached to that message. And so I woke up, I called Emory, I emailed Jay Brown, talked to my sister. I said, what about, and I think Jada was like, Emory, you can either leave Baltimore and not be happy, or you can try to lead Baltimore. And I was like,
that's deep.
If I leave Baltimore, do I think I can do it? There's no doubt in my mind that if I'm able to be put in a position to run for mayor and the people and God align themselves with that truth, that's what it is. All I got to do is find the right people to work with who trust my vision. I have a friend, he's like my brother too. His name is Jan Pickney, and he was my supervisor at my job when I worked at the group home. Another wonderful place where I learned a lot of morals and principles and lifestyle skills, And he said, I might not understand your vision, Stokey, but I trust it. And to me, that's almost what I'm asking Baltimore, But you have to be more, you got to explain yourself more in terms of how you want to run people's lives. Like, I've been studying day in and day out the budget, statistics, and learning how to allocate the resources that's needed, and finding ways to make those decisions better, but get people in positions that actually care. Like, I don't have a problem with anybody in politics right now. I'm not running against none of those guys. I'm running for Baltimore.
I love that.
Yeah, I don't have nothing negative to say about the administration. The results speak for itself. I just think we need to change. And I say that because at the end of the day, I'm at a point in my life where I'm not going to be a disservice. Things just don't always work. And if you really care about people and you want what's best for them, then you're going to make the best decision because sometimes your way might not be working. In school, if you have a teacher that can't reach you, she's not going to give up on you. She's going to give you to another teacher who probably can because she wants what's best for you.
Right.
Well, that's not happening in Baltimore. A lot of these kids that's perpetuating the same negative narrative that they saw me grow up doing, that's a problem. You can't fix that unless you know how it works. I can go to Pennsylvania Avenue and tell these guys, listen, we got something else to do. And they're going to trust me based on my experience. I don't do with politics. I've been doing the work already. I just don't have a label or a title.
Right.
And I'm saying right now, it's just frustrating because, mothers are hurting. And I know I always use metaphors to hurt people, but you got 1,700 murders. Mothers that lost their child. They don't want to hear no excuse about what they got going on Federal Hill, what they got going on in Canton, because a lot of them can't afford to leave. If they could, they would have been gone already.
Right.
And right now, there are 2 Baltimore. That's a fact. There are a lot of people who don't want to face, who's not affected by the crisis that we're going through. It's two Baltimores. You go down Pennsylvania Avenue, they out there surviving, and I know that I'm not talking about race as I am culture and, systemic oppression and all those type of things.
Right.
But I feel like if we pay more attention to the people that's in need, and not the people that don't need anything, you'll see a change. It will ultimately change how people live their lives. I shouldn't have to go down to Inner Harbor to feel safe and feel happy. How about Baltimore? If you look at Monday Night Football game, I promise you, they're going to show the Inner Harbor.
Yeah.
They ain't going to show Pennsylvania. Why? Because they're ashamed of it? That's a part of Baltimore. So
Yeah.
you got people who live in Baltimore who can't afford to leave. I had a problem with Donald Trump because I know for a fact that the problems that he pointed out, not only were they was true, and they're prevalent throughout some areas in Baltimore, but he don't care enough to change it, so I don't need to hear from somebody who ain't going to change it.
Right.
If you're going to talk about it, tell me what you're going to do about it, right?
Right.
And the first thing I would like to do is hold people accountable, whether it be via audit or showing what we have done with the money that's been allocated to help these people come out of these hardships.
Yeah.
I mean, we got schools that closed down last week. We in 2019 because of air conditioning. Like, you can tell me we don't have enough information in advance to know that it's going to be hot and we're going to need air conditioning. If they don't work, fix them before school starts.
Right.
I
Be
got a
proactive.
good friend, and maybe works in a school that didn't have heat. Like, wow, our kids got to go through that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I just think that when you have a leader who knows how things work, who's not scared to make tough decisions, who's not bought out by all these other lobbyists and other people who invest in him and not Baltimore because they want something in return, you'll start to see the difference. I mean, one of the things I want to do, is doing audit. You talk about the crime, you talk about affordable housing, you talk about, the kids that are risking everything and those that are at risk. You talk about the people, why they depressed, why they, it's a stigma going on right now. And if you don't understand,
like a dark cloud.
Yeah, because they don't see a reason to change. We gave them these conditions. They didn't make them. We gave them to them. So it's our obligation to fix these conditions and give these kids some hope. And I just guarantee you that anybody you give hope, and an opportunity, and more resources, you're going to see a different outcome. There's no reason for us to still be living like we, in a third world country.
Yeah.
I mean, I see more homeless people than ever. I see a drug epidemic. I think people are taking drugs to fight away some type of pain, some pain there, and I'm saying to myself, okay, I understand that I'm not a god, nor am I a demigod. You can't just get in there and change things. But even with the police, you got to support the police. Like, I know some of them are not law-abiding citizens, well, you root them out. But we need good police that's going to serve and protect us, and not fear and threaten us, And if they hold each other accountable, like they want to hold us accountable, then you'll have a department that has been thoroughly vetted with qualified, trained officers and ready to serve the people of Baltimore the way they should.
Right.
And I feel like once you get a leader who can hold the people accountable, you'll see the complexion change. Like, I'm not saying I know it all. I don't. It's not about me as a we. I'm not asking to work for Baltimore so I can have a job. I don't need no money. I do it for free.
Right.
But we can change Baltimore if we believe in everything that I just said. And hopefully the mothers and the brothers and the sisters who are tired of watching applications like Murder Inc. and all these other platforms that steady talk bad about Baltimore, bring a change by voting on April 28th. Because I think that's the only way you get that message. They going to talk on TV. They're going to look the part. That's what they do.
Yeah.
But I don't think Baltimore needs another politician, And honestly, I had told my family and my friends, if it was someone who I thought I could get behind and support, who I knew would change Day-Day's life,
right,
or make, Tammy get back into school and be a better mother.
That's relatable.
I'm good. I'm going to live my life. Because again, as I said before, this is the happiest, the healthiest I've ever been in my life. And I'm willing to sacrifice that because I feel like, my purpose is to serve and give back. And, if not me, not now, then I don't know who. Because in 4 years, I ain't going to want to do this. I can tell you that right now. I'm not going like, oh, he ain't win. He going to do it again in 4 years.
Right.
No, I'm going to be trying to buy something in space or something.
Right.
Invest in agriculture,
Right.
I mean, and find a way to be more comfortable in my life,
Right.
But I mean, I met a young lady on the basketball court after my event, and she was a Caucasian lady. She was telling me, I like your ideas, but can you think if you win, you could, focus on the infrastructure, and that's funny because you got people that have different needs in Baltimore. And
Yeah.
I know you got to be the man for everybody, But I mean, we did a wonderful job, Harbor East. We did a wonderful job,
Yeah.
But you mean tell me we can't do more on Monroe Street?
Right.
We can't go on Biddle Street. We can't find a way to help, all these areas that feel like the Roland Park feel like Bolton Hill feel. It's a different feeling, and it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to ask. So now that you're going kind of full speed ahead, do you think that Baltimore has failed at certain policies when it comes to
Absolutely.
the city?
I mean, again,
or failing currently?
I mean, we look at from last time I checked, and I don't like to give numbers until I'm correct, but I think we get like a $3.5 billion budget. I think we spend 13% of that on education, which is roughly $280 million. But every other surrounding county in Maryland spends upwards of 27 to 64% of their budget on education.
Ooh.
So they're showing you what they're investing in.
What's important to them.
Right. So right now we have spent, I think, $500 million on police. But now crime is at an all-time high.
Yeah.
And you say, well, is it because the police doesn't want to do their job? Is it the consent decree that's not, that's in the way? Like, what's the problem with that?
Yeah.
It's a disconnect. So again, gas taxes supposed to go towards the MTA, but we so far behind that money is going other places as well.
Right.
So I can definitely say we failed our kids in a way whereas though now they don't even look forward to a future. I think in their eyes, I seen something last week, they think they're going to die and not live. And that to me is very problematic and very troublesome. I have a teenage son, and there's nothing I want more to him to be successful in life, and be healthy and happy. And I do my best to make sure that happens. Unfortunately, I can't control other people's lives, and they make poor decisions based on what's in their reach. Right now, you look at why kids are selling drugs. Most of the resources leave the community, and other people get the chance to be a part of that outcome. I mean, but we patronize and value the Gucci's of the world, Louis Vuittons of the world, but we don't manufacture or make none of that stuff. We only support black-owned business. And I think when I speak about small business. Right, we have to start getting behind them as well. We have a lot of successful black women in Baltimore that's doing very well. I have a very few close friends that I'm very proud of. That's doing a wonderful job. We got people who have always helped us form our own entertainment perspective. The Marcy comes from the world. Like she always found a way to entertain Baltimore. You got the Aprils, who she sell hair. And you have a lot of people who do things from their own money, from their own pocket,
investing in themselves.
We got Star. She another young lady I think that's doing, I mean, it's so many people I can think of has a perfect platform, a perfect message, who has been excellent in their individual capacity from a small business perspective. If you give them a platform, a bigger platform, to contaminate more spaces, you'll have more success.
Yeah.
And I just feel like they're doing it on their own. But if they had help from the same people that they paying their tax dollars to, then you'll see more success.
Yeah. Wow. I love that. I love all of that. I think that's a pretty good game plan, because just like you said, because there's so much talent and so much leadership on the streets of Baltimore. If they can all just collectively just come together and just help each other out and sponsor each other, or just keep the slots available for each other, I think it can do a lot of great things, like the music concert that you spoke of, to have all the talent come and collectively be there, to have all of the influencers of Baltimore to be in one space, like that would just change so much.
Carmelo had an idea last month about bringing all the successful or famous people from Baltimore together to do a photo op to show that we moving Baltimore forward. And unfortunately, people's schedules was conflicting and they couldn't do it. But to your point, You know, we don't have to wait for someone to live on Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. in our White House to tell us about Baltimore.
Right.
We have enough influential people in Baltimore who is fatigued and frustrated with what they see. And we just need a leader to bring them together at the table and say, listen, this is what we're doing, this is how we're going to do it. I have another idea in terms of decreasing the recidivism. As I said, you have a lot of guys come home from prison, they're very hopeless because they got a record, they're black, and they don't think they're going to get a second chance. Well, I want to create a clean slate program where if you come home from prison, in 90 days you get a job at Hackensack, Home Depot, like I said, all over places. And then when you work there 90 days, you get a raise in a permanent job, but some of the money that you make will go towards affordable housing, buying your own house in a neighborhood where you can invest your own money into your own neighborhood or in a house that's conducive to your income.
Lifestyle, yeah.
So that way you're not moving people out of the city, they stay in the city, and that's also investing their own money into their own home. Because a lot of people come home from prison have to stay with someone else.
Yeah.
And then I've been there before, like you got to bite your tongue.
Yeah.
Relationships you don't want to be in. But, you gotta do things that work for you at that moment. But I think if you give these guys a chance to really succeed and come home and get them some hope from the door, they're gonna decrease their recidivism. A lot of guys don't want to do wrong, but they gotta survive. And I get it. I get it. I get it. I know what that's about. And right now, they're not hustling to get ahead. They're hustling to survive. And that's like an animal in the wild. Whatever he got to do to survive, no one is off limits. You go to the zoo right now, a tiger or a lion, they sitting there calm and not have a worry in the world. But go to Africa or India and you walk through the wild, they're going to tear you out the frame because now you is in their habitat and you're a part of their survival. And that's what happened. I've been studying psychologists, from Yale, Stanford, and I wrote a few notes down just like yesterday. The guy said, drug is the new gold in the inner city of Baltimore. And if you're trying to take gold from someone, they're going to do what they was doing thousands of years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
So,
wow.
We just got to find a way to use our leaders because the messenger has the message. Right now, the messenger has the master message now. And there's you can't separate the two. You can't have a good messenger and a bad message. You got to have a good messenger with a good message, and hopefully it will perpetuate, and people will trust his vision or her vision and move Baltimore in the right direction. Unfortunately, we had 2 of the last 3 mayors to resign for some things that probably shouldn't have been done, but that's the way it is, And I respect all 3 of them. I think they were some wonderful women, who did some wonderful things. But I think now Baltimore has a different complexion than it did in years past. And I think the only way we're going to get Baltimore to come out of this slump is somebody who's been through it, who knows how it feels not to really have, or who can identify with the crisis and can talk to the people face on and have feet on the ground and look in your eyes and say, listen, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm going to fix it or I can't because of X, Y, Z. But don't tell me what you're going to do when you get my vote. It's so many people who want you to vote for them and get behind them, and they forget you when they get the job.
Yeah.
And then there's some people you only hear or see when it's time to vote.
Right.
People got mad at me talking about you ain't support me. Well, you never supported me. I've been in Baltimore, doing things on the ground. Not one time y'all gave me a trash bag. Yeah. But I don't want to get into an altercation or conflict about who I support and why I support, because at the end of the day, it ain't personal to me, it's my perspective.
Right. And you're not running against anyone. It's for
I'm
Baltimore.
I'm not talking about nobody. I'm not doing opposition research. I'm not talking bad about nobody that's in government, that's coming into government, because that's a waste of time. It's not going to bring not one life back. It's not going to change one condition. It's not going to give a kid an air conditioner, an iPad. It's not going to do. The only thing that's going to help me if I convince people like you that my ideas, my philosophy, my ideology is going to change and move Baltimore forward. And if I can't convince you, if you don't think I'm the guy, I'm okay with that. I'm not going to get mad and say, oh, you should have this, you should have did that. I'm okay if you don't think I'm the person for you, because I'm not for everybody. In my personal life and my social life. But I think if you look at the statistics and you say, well, what do we got to lose? Can it get worse? Or in the hood it go worse, but which is not a word, but I'm saying, can it or can it get better? I think some of these young kids that I see every single day, just now on my way over here, a kid was squeezing. He had a cigarette in his mouth. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. And I cussed him out in my own way because that's my guy. Like, well, you got to be better than me. You can't do that. Yeah. I don't need to be a politician to check him. Right. And he don't need to be in trouble to respond.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't tell me get out of his face. He listened and he accepted and respected what I was saying because we have a relationship.
Yes, and I will say, when you are from a certain environment and you are approached by a man in a suit or a man who looks like, like he's in politics, they're not receptive to whatever he's saying. So for you to be so relatable and casual about it, that's going to reach a lot of the youth in the community because that's what they can relate to.
I haven't seen a lot of kids in the community concerned about politics until I say I was going to get involved. Because they don't care about what it is. I just want to educate them and inform them on the things that I know I can do. But nothing gets done. I got people asking me to do things now like I'm the man. Like, no, I'm not. I can try to refer you to somebody with those resources. Right. But if I was driving that car, I know for a fact I can take you to that destination. I can't take you nowhere now because I don't have that title. I can still try to use my relationships and my resources to get you some help, but it's much easier if I'm at the table and at the door. And I've been at the door for a long time, and it's unfortunate. Like right now, they recognize me for doing my Never Give Up Summer Festival. This was the 10-year anniversary. They just gave me an award for 10 years.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It took 10 years. So, 10 but that lets you know exactly where we are in Baltimore. And I'm okay with that. I thank the councilman, for coming out, showing support. Yeah. He didn't have to do that, but at the end of the day, like 10 years, and y'all just recognized I was out here. Like, right.
Where's all your hard work going to,
I mean, but I never did it for accolades or likes anyway. So the people know who I care. My community, they receive the good deeds, so I'm okay with it. I don't need no award. I'm just saying it lets you know what we pay attention to. But if I've done something wrong, like they want to keep talking about what happened in 1997, 98,
Right.
Let's talk about Elijah Cummings invite me to be a part of his congressional inauguration. Let's talk about being invited to the city and the state address, by former mayors. Let's talk about every commissioner that's been in Baltimore since I've been home asking me to speak in an intimate setting about problem solving, crime fighting.
What's that experience been like?
It's been humbling because I never thought that I would actually be invited at the table to talk about problem solving, crime fighting in Baltimore. Right. Because I always do things on my own. Like a few years ago on my birthday, I got some of the most notorious guys from the street and some of the most known rap artists together to squash ongoing conflict or beef, as they call it.
Beautiful.
And the Sun paper wrote about it, but I don't know too many people that can do things like that. And then, but he was a drug dealer. Okay, well, I made some mistakes. I paid my debt to society. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't do anything to run from it. I did my time like a man. I came home, and I use the word atonement because I feel like, that's the ultimate sacrifice, losing your freedom, for a crime. Although I disagree with all the laws, I hope my friend Meek Mills with his reform campaign can change the direction of where we go in terms of legislation. But at the end of the day,
working hard.
Right, I just feel like right now there's a whole bunch of things that, need to change. But when you look at people that talk about my past, I'm like, well, what about the present? You talking about something happened 20 years ago. What about the last 10? Yeah. I mean,
or the next 10.
Inshallah, hopefully. But I'm just saying, but it just amazes me how people find ways to talk about negative things that doesn't really have anything to do. Or they might say, yeah, but you can't do this, you can't do that. Well, let's look at things I've done and tell me how I've done it. I ain't that lucky.
Right.
Again, the people I can name, right now have successful companies, organizations that was around way before they met me. Mm-hmm. And to bring me on board and let me get involved, to me, speaks value about them and how they trust me. And they didn't have to do it because there's a lot of other people who love the opportunity to work with a Jay-Z.
Right.
Or Jim Davis of New Balance. Like, these people who I know don't need no headaches. They don't need nobody to, contaminate or taint their brand with some negativity. But in Shoe City, the owner, Greg Greenberg, he trusts me to represent the marketing of his company. Do you think he would let someone go to all these high-profile meetings who's not qualified or certified to be a decent, good human being?
Right, to represent.
But they're not going to talk about that, how I was able to do certain things and progress and succeed and progress, in the business endeavors, because they wanted to always seem like, he just getting away book bags,
Right.
But I have a resume, and I know I don't want to talk too much about finances because at the end of the day, I don't want nobody start asking. But I found a way to make a lot of money. They can ask questions, but people, they bag when they think you got. Right?
Got you.
But I found a way to make a decent living, doing what I do, and I'm happy about that.
Well, that's beautiful. And like I said, it's been a pleasure having you here on Josh Jot Down. We're going to just wrap this up, but I do want you to tell the people how they can vote for you in this upcoming election and the process, anything that they need to know, any websites, information.
Well, our website is Stokey for Baltimore. We're about to launch that, I think, another day or two.
Ooh, nice.
Kids that's 17 years or older can vote in the primary. We have to get those kids registered to vote. We're going to be doing activations in the community, anywhere that I think is prevalent to getting the word out and get them engaged, and more inform them on what it is to vote. A lot of kids think that politics is not for them, but they don't understand that the things that are happening affect them. And they need somebody that's going to represent them this time,
right.
Not next time, this time. And if you look at the people who have said, what they're going to do and what they can do, I mean, the choice should be easy. But again, no one's going to give me the keys of Baltimore. That's not how it works. I understand that. I'm willing to, again, make sacrifices and fight for this city I love because I do love it. The city gave me everything I could ever ask for, So I'm hopeful. Again, the primary election is the 28th. We haven't voted for a Republican mayor since 67, I think. So hopefully whoever wins the primary has always, since 67, known to win the general election. So I'm hopeful just to be a part of the conversation. They're not going to mention my name in the major media outlets because that's not what they do, right? So platforms like this, I take advantage of and I appreciate, and because y'all get the word out, and then hopefully we force them to really understand exactly what's happening here. Something's happening here. Something special is happening. It's not because just me, because people have to want you. It's a lot of people that's going to run for mayor, but it's people that has to want you, and I'm hopeful that we can continue with that positive energy till April 28th.
Well, you got my vote. I tell you that now. You got my vote. Yeah, no. You have my vote because I think that a lot of the folks my age group, I'm 30, so a lot of people that's in my age group, we want to see that change just as much as anybody else, and I think we're really starting to put our feet in the dirt as far as getting our hands dirty ourselves. Like, okay, what needs to be done? And for you to come along, even though you've been doing this for so long for the area, we like that you're not 60 and over, right? Not in a suit, not in, politically correct. Like, we love that.
Yeah, I ain't gonna throw. I got some special suits made.
Yeah. Oh, we're sure you clean up nice.
No, I agree with that. I think I told somebody yesterday that you got Supreme Court justices that's 80-something years old, right? They're still making decisions. But we know what that's about. That power has to change, and it starts with young people like you to get engaged, get involved. And once y'all get involved, I'm hopeful. I tell people all the time, some people wouldn't vote for me if I never got in trouble.
Right.
And certain people that look like me don't want me to be involved because they can't do it.
Right.
I don't know where the hate comes from, but I do my best to try to ignore it because it's not going to help me do anything. But people always told me if you don't have haters, you can't be a player. You can't be both. You can't be just having one, dynamic. You got to be different ones to really get their message out. But I'm hopeful. Again, your generation is needed. Y'all pretty much got to carry the torch forward. I'm old. I'm lethargic.
Oh, no. You don't look a day over 30.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited for Baltimore. And to me, it's a win-win situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the kids can see somebody that look like them, it's doing something from the heart, right? Who really cares. And you won't have those that say, well, why should you be mad? And I always tell people because I want to, stop the corruption, solve some of this crime, make people be fiscally responsible, you know what I'm saying? And I want to be the change that I need to see, and hopefully when that message gets out there and they understand exactly who I am, then maybe the conversation will change. Because right now the media controls most of what you know about certain people. If the media tell you right now I stole somebody's car, you're going to believe it because you trust the media.
Right.
And I'm not saying Donald Trump saying fake news. I'm not saying that the media has a lot of power and control over what we hear and what we see.
Right.
But it's people like you now with these platforms who can also get the word out there and contaminate some of those spaces with some positive energy.
Yeah.
Hopefully it resonate with the voters, and on April 27th or 28th, we make history.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm rooting for you, and I hope you guys get out there to those booths and vote and stay informed. Please do, because Baltimore really needs this. I really do. So thank you so much, Mr. Carmichael Stokey Cannady, for stopping through Jot Down. We appreciate you. We're humbled, and we are thankful for all the work that you've done. So if no one ever tells you, Jot told you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem, y'all. This is Jot Down, and we'll see you on the next edition. Peace.